My parents' voices still echo in my skull. How dare you refuse to help your sister? I didn't argue, I didn't flinch, I didn't even look at them. I simply walked out of the room, their words clinging to me like smoke from a fire I had no intention of putting out. This morning, though, they finally discovered why. I used to believe blood meant loyalty, that family was supposed to be the safe place you ran to when the world turned ugly. My mistake was thinking my sister ever saw me as anything more than a resource, an account to drain, a shadow to stand on. When we were younger, she charmed everyone, the perfect daughter. Smiles like rehearsed lines, crocodile tears at will. And me? I was the quiet one, the dependable one, the one who never asked for much. That suited her perfectly. I was her backdrop. It wasn't until college that I saw the cracks. She'd borrow things, my clothes, my books, my money. Promises to return them dissolved in the air. My parents brushed it off as sibling rivalry. I told myself not to care. But every time she smiled and got away with it, a small knot formed in my chest. I ignored it. For years. The real betrayal came 2 years ago. I'd saved for years, working jobs no one in my family respected, a down payment for my own apartment, my first step toward independence. Then one night while I was at work, she slipped into my room. My savings, every last bill, vanished. I knew it was her. The timing, the smirk she couldn't hide when I confronted her, the way my parents defended her before I could even finish my accusation. It's just money, they said. She needed it more. She'll pay you back. She never did. I learned my place that day. Not as a daughter, not as a sister, but as a wallet. I didn't rage, I didn't scream, I didn't beg for justice. That's not who I am. Instead, I became patient. I built my savings again, but this time under layers she couldn't reach. Accounts in my name only, investments she couldn't trace, a quiet stream of money that flowed where no one could see. I worked harder, longer. Every dollar became another brick in the wall I was building between us. And while she played the darling child, whining for attention, demanding loans she never intended to repay, I listened. I learned. I kept my face calm while I mapped her downfall. When she came with her grand plan for a startup, my parents treated it like gospel. She needed $50,000. Of course she didn't have it. Of course she came to me. Empty your savings, they said. She's your sister. Help her. I smiled. And I told them no. The outrage was immediate, yelling, accusations. My father slammed his fist on the table. My mother's voice cracked with fury. She wept as if I had betrayed them. But I stayed silent. I walked away, because by then I had already done my work. The company papers were forged. Not by me, I'm not reckless, but by someone who understood exactly what I needed. A little money in the right pocket, and suddenly her startup existed on paper, under my name. The investors she thought she'd charmed, they were mine. The trademark she bragged about, filed in my hands. Every idea she had stolen from her friends, every careless note she left lying around, I gathered like evidence. She thought she was clever. She thought the world would bend for her the way our parents always had. But the world doesn't love spoiled children. It loves ownership, proof, receipts. This morning, they found out. The article hit the business section just before breakfast. Promising new startup raises $1.2 million seed funding. My name, my face, my company. I walked into the kitchen with my coffee, calm as a priest. The newspaper lay on the counter, my father's hand trembling as he read the headline again and again. My mother's lips parted, searching for words. My sister? She looked like someone had gutted her in her sleep. She stammered something about her idea, her plan, her future. I let her talk, let her choke on every excuse. Then I set my mug down, looked her in the eye, and said the only words I'd been saving. "You shouldn't have stolen from me." The silence was exquisite. They finally understood. I hadn't refused to help her. I'd simply stopped playing my part as her sacrifice. I wasn't her wallet. I wasn't her backup plan. I wasn't the family fool they thought would roll over forever. I had taken everything she wanted and locked it behind my name, my effort, my proof. She couldn't touch me anymore. Now, when I think back on that night she stole from me, I feel nothing. No anger, no grief, just clarity. Betrayal isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. A hand in your drawer, a smile masking theft. But revenge, real revenge, doesn't need noise either. It just needs patience. And this morning, when my parents' outrage curdled into silence, when my sister's face collapsed under the weight of her own arrogance, that was enough. Finally, I'm free.